Hi, today welcome to another video. Today we'll be creating this beautiful verify your account kind of div. Inside the div you can see we add a number. Basically all kind of website use this to verify their account, and you can add it to your website as well. Now let's create a div of class container, and inside the div of class container we will have a heading 2, and inside the heading 2 I will write verify your account. Now create a paragraph. Paragraph will have enter the code to verify your self or your account. You can type whatever you want. I am creating another div of class code container. Basically this code container will have all the numbers, basically all the inputs. Input type number, class of code, placeholder will be 0, and minimum number you can enter is 0 and maximum number you can enter is 9. So, and the date will be a required field. Now let's copy it and paste it 6 times. So there are 6 numbers basically. Now create a small class of info. Inside that info I will add enter, sent, write, subscribe. Okay, now let's try it and give it a box sizing of border box. You can see. Give it a body. Let's take the body and give it a background color of #BFCFE, whitish color, but not white. Font family, display of flex. Align item center, justify content center, and height of 100 VH. Overflow of hidden, margin of 0. Now after, let's take the container. You can see that everything is aligned in the center. Now you can see, let's take the container, and inside that container let's give it a background color of white, border of 3 pixel solid, and give it an color of 000 blackish color, and the border or radius should be 10 pixels. Now give it a padding of 30 pixels and a max width of 1000 pixels. Give it a text line of center. Now you can see how good it looks, but I have to design it furthermore. Let's copy the code container, and for the code container class I will basically give it a display of flex. Align item should be center, justify content should be center as well, margin should be 40 pixels and 0. Now you can see how it looks. Now I will take the code. You can see that all of the inputs have a class of code. Give it a border radius of 5 pixels. Font size should be 75 pixels, so the number should be bigger. Height should be 150 pixels and width should be 100 pixels. Now if I will refresh it just in a while, you can see everything will be bigger, and give it a border of 1 pixel solid EEE. Give it a margin of 1%. Now just give text line center, so it should be center, 0 should be in the center, font weight of 300, and also add a MOZ appearance. Nice. Give it a text field. Now you can see how it looks like. Now what I will do is I will basically take the code and give it use a WebKit and give it an inner spin button, comma, and I will do almost the same thing. WebKit outer spin button. Now WebKit animation appearance basically should be none, and margin should be 0. Basically you can see when I put the cursor, there was the upper and lower arrow on every field, so I have removed it basically. Code.valid should be border color should be 3, 4 basically, which I have already used. Box shadow of 10 pixels, basically 0, 10 pixel, minus 5 pixel, RGBA of 0, 0, 0, and an opacity of 0.25. Now let's go to the info, give it a background color of EA, give it a display of inline block, basically for the lower part, give it a padding of 10 pixels, give it a line height of 20 pixels, give it a max width of 400 pixels, and a color of 777 grayish color, and give it a border radius of 5 pixels as well for the bottom you can see. Now let's copy the code container. I've already copied it, but I just give the media queries. Media queries is to make this responsive for it so that it can work on all the screens. Max width of 800 pixels, code container, flex wrap should be wrap. The code should be have a font size of 50 pixels. Height should be 70 pixels. You can see that these were different when I initialize them in the beginning. Now you can see that these are changing when the size increases or decreases. Now just write the script for it. It should not be more than a couple of lines. The const codes. Let's take the input variables basically, and query selector all for all the code input. You can see that all the inputs have a class of codes. I am taking them all using query selector all. Now using codes into 0 dot focus. Now codes dot for each, so it can iterate through the entire loop and give it an index, and basically using an arrow function here. If code dot add event listener key down e, if e dot key greater than equal to 0 and e dot key greater less than 9, code should be index dot value empty. Set timeout and codes index +1 for the array and focus basically, which is a pre-built-in function. Set timeout is also a built-in function. Now using an else if key equal to backspace to remove it, then set timeout. Codes basically do the same, but this time we will type index -1, so we are removing the number, or we basically push is for the +1 you can say, and -1 for the pop, and give it a 10. Now you can see I am typing and how the number are changing. Now I can remove it. I hope you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.